Maya had spent most of her adult life fighting against the world. At 25, she found herself alone, raising her young daughter Lila in a cramped apartment in the city. Every day was a challenge. Bills piled up faster than she could pay them, and work barely covered the basics. She cleaned offices during the day and waited tables at night. Sleep was a luxury she could rarely afford. Still, she smiled for Lila, determined to give her some sense of security, even if it was only small moments of joy. Maya's life had never been easy. She had grown up in a small town, the daughter of humble parents who worked hard but never had much to give. Her mother had died when Maya was only 12, leaving her to take care of her younger brother while her father worked long hours. Her father loved his children, but grief had hardened him, and he could never provide more than the essentials. Maya learned responsibility early. She had dreams once of traveling, of studying, of building a life far from hardship, but those dreams had slipped through her fingers. Every day was a reminder that life was not fair. When Maya became pregnant at 19, she had no partner to rely on. Her family tried to help, but they were already struggling. Her friends moved on to college or jobs in other cities, leaving Maya feeling alone. She took whatever work she could find, often juggling 2 or 3 jobs just to keep the lights on. Despite the exhaustion, she refused to let Lila feel the weight of their struggles. Lila's laughter was like sunshine in their small apartment, and Maya treasured it more than anything else in the world. One chilly morning, while waiting for the bus, Maya noticed an envelope lying on the pavement. It was thick and cream-colored, sealed with a wax stamp she had only seen in movies. Curious, she picked it up and saw her name written in elegant handwriting. Her heart skipped a beat as she opened it. The letter inside was from a law firm she had never heard of. It explained that she had inherited a mansion from someone she had never met, her great-aunt Vivian, who had passed away many years ago. Maya rubbed her eyes in disbelief. A mansion? She could hardly imagine it. Her mind raced with questions. Why had she never known about Vivian? Why would someone leave her such a gift? The letter included an address, directions to the property, and instructions to contact the law firm for the keys. She held the envelope tightly as if it contained a lifeline she had never expected to find. At first, Maya hesitated. The thought of stepping into the world of the wealthy was frightening. She felt like an intruder in a life she had never lived. But Lila tugged at her hand, her bright eyes full of excitement. "Mom, can we see it, please?" Lila's enthusiasm was contagious. Maya smiled, the first genuine smile she had felt in months. She had nothing to lose, and maybe, just maybe, this could be a new beginning. By evening, Maya had packed a small bag with essentials. She had no idea what she would find, but she felt a strange mix of nervousness and hope. The mansion was located on the outskirts of a quiet town, surrounded by old trees and wide lawns. When she arrived, the sight took her breath away. The house was enormous, with towering windows, ivy crawling up the walls, and an air of forgotten elegance. It looked as if time had stopped there decades ago. Maya approached the front door, her hands trembling slightly as she inserted the key. The door creaked open to reveal a grand hallway, lined with polished wood and ornate chandeliers. Dust floated in the beams of sunlight streaming through the windows. The air smelled of age, but it was strangely comforting. It felt like stepping into a story she had only read about in books. Lila ran ahead, her laughter echoing through the empty rooms. As they explored, Maya noticed that much of the mansion seemed untouched, almost frozen in time. Family portraits lined the walls, and in each one a woman with a kind face stared back. Maya assumed it was her great-aunt Vivian. She could feel a presence as if the house was waiting for her. It was overwhelming, but a spark of determination lit inside her. For the first time in years, she felt a sense of possibility. Perhaps this house was not just a building. Perhaps it was a chance to start over. The kitchen was enormous, with copper pots hanging above the counter and a huge wooden table in the center. Maya could imagine family dinners and laughter filling the space. In the pantry, she found rows of glass jars, some with long-forgotten preserves. She felt a strange connection to the house, as if it held memories waiting to be awakened. The bedrooms were grand, with high ceilings and large windows. Dust covered the floors, but sunlight made the rooms feel warm. Lila ran from room to room, discovering hidden corners and small closets, her excitement contagious. In the corner of one large room, Maya discovered a small note tucked beneath a loose floorboard. It was written in Vivian's handwriting and read, "Some treasures are not what they seem. Look closely and you will find more than gold. Maya frowned, curiosity mixed with unease. What did it mean? More than gold? She didn't know what Vivian had meant, but she felt a strange pull, as if the house itself was whispering secrets to her. Something in the air felt alive, waiting for her to uncover it. Evening came, and Maya lit a few candles to brighten the space. Shadows danced across the walls, giving the mansion a mysterious charm. She sat on a dusty sofa, Lila curled up beside her. For the first time in years, Maya could breathe without feeling trapped. She realized that the mansion, despite its age and neglect, offered a chance to escape the constant struggle of her past. She knew challenges lay ahead. Restoring the mansion would require money, effort, and patience. But she also knew she had inherited more than just a house. She had inherited hope. As Maya looked around, she noticed the small details she had missed at first. A faded photograph of a young Vivian smiling at a picnic. A diary hidden in a drawer, its pages filled with elegant handwriting. A delicate porcelain vase, chipped but still beautiful. Each item seemed to tell a story of a life lived long ago. Maya felt connected to Vivian, as if the woman had been waiting for her to find the house and continue her legacy. Lila yawned and climbed onto Maya's lap. Maya held her daughter close, feeling the weight of the past and the promise of the future at the same time. For the first time, Maya allowed herself to imagine a life that was more than survival. She imagined waking up in the morning to sunlight streaming through tall windows, preparing breakfast in a kitchen full of warmth, and laughing with Lila in the vast garden outside. It seemed almost impossible, yet for the first time it felt real. Before going to bed, Maya explored one last room on the first floor. It was a small study filled with shelves of books, some with cracked spines and yellowed pages. She ran her fingers across the titles, feeling a strange connection to the stories and knowledge contained within. On the desk, she found another note. The heart of this house holds what eyes cannot see. Seek patiently, and you will find your treasure. Maya held the note close, feeling a mixture of excitement and wonder. What treasure could Vivian have meant? She knew she would have to uncover it step by step, room by room, until the mansion revealed its secrets. As night fell, Maya placed a blanket over Lila and whispered a quiet promise. Tomorrow we begin a new life, she said. The mansion was silent, but she felt a comforting presence, as if the house itself had heard her words. In that moment, Maya knew her journey was just beginning, and that hope, long lost in the struggles of her past, had finally found its way back. The next morning, Maya woke up early, the sunlight spilling through the tall windows of the mansion. For the first time in years, she felt rested. The air smelled faintly of old wood and polished stone, and it reminded her of her childhood home. Lila was already awake, sitting on the edge of her bed and humming softly. Seeing her daughter so happy brought a warmth to Maya's heart that she had almost forgotten. After a simple breakfast of toast and fruit, Maya decided to start exploring the mansion more carefully. She wanted to understand the layout and check which rooms could be used immediately. The mansion had many floors, each filled with large rooms, hidden hallways, and forgotten corners. Some areas were dusty and full of cobwebs, while others seemed recently polished, as if someone had tried to maintain them before abandoning the house. Every room seemed to hold a story, a memory frozen in time. Maya's first priority was the kitchen. She wanted to make it functional so they could cook meals. She cleaned the counters and cupboards, swept the floor, and even found some old cooking utensils that were still usable. Lila helped her, humming and organizing jars while occasionally sneaking a piece of chocolate from a cabinet. The two laughed as they worked, enjoying a moment of normalcy in a house so large it felt empty most of the time. After the kitchen, Maya decided to explore the library. The room was massive, with walls lined with tall bookshelves that reached the ceiling. Some of the books were old and delicate, their pages yellowed with age. She ran her fingers along the spines, curious about the stories they might contain. One book in particular caught her attention. It was a leather-bound diary with Vivian's name embossed in gold on the cover. Maya opened it carefully and began to read. The diary was filled with details about Vivian's life. She had traveled to faraway cities, collected rare items, and built the mansion as a place of peace and creativity. But some entries were mysterious. Vivian mentioned hidden rooms, secret compartments, and treasures that were not what they seem. Maya's curiosity grew with every page. She realized that the mansion held more than just beauty. It held secrets waiting to be discovered. While reading, Maya heard Lila calling from the other side of the room. She walked over to find her daughter pointing at a small door partially hidden behind a bookshelf. The door was tiny with a brass handle and no keyhole. Maya knelt down and examined it. It seemed ordinary at first, but there was something unusual about the way the floorboards near the door were arranged. She remembered Vivian's notes about treasures hidden in the house. Could this be one of the secret rooms? Maya tried pushing the door, but it wouldn't open. She looked around for any clues. On the wall above, she noticed a painting of a landscape. The colors were bright and the scene showed a hill and a small house. Maya touched the frame and to her surprise, it moved slightly. Behind it, she discovered a small lever. With a deep breath, she pulled it and the tiny door clicked open. The handle turned easily now. The room behind the door was dark. Maya lit a candle she had brought from the kitchen and stepped inside. The air smelled of age, but it was not unpleasant. The room was small, only large enough for one person to stand comfortably. Along the walls were shelves filled with jars, boxes, and stacks of papers. Maya carefully examined each item. She found letters, photographs, and documents. Many were old family papers, but some seemed like records of something valuable. She noticed a small metal box in the corner, locked but clearly important. Maya realized this was the first clue to the treasure Vivian had written about. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. What could be inside the box? Gold, jewelry, or something even more unusual? She tried to shake off her thoughts and focus. Opening it would require patience and care. For now, she decided to leave it safely in the secret room while she explored the mansion further. Throughout the day, Maya and Lila worked to make the mansion feel more like home. They cleaned bedrooms, swept hallways, and dusted furniture. Maya found old blankets, pillows, and sheets in the attic, which she used to prepare their sleeping spaces. Lila was fascinated by every discovery, from old toys hidden in drawers to photographs of relatives she had never met. The mansion no longer felt empty, with her daughter's laughter echoing through the halls. As the sun began to set, Maya sat by a large window in the living room. The sky turned pink and orange, and the mansion's gardens reflected the colors beautifully. She thought about the secret room and the possibilities it held. Vivian's words, "more than gold," echoed in her mind. Maya wondered what kind of treasure could be worth such careful hiding. She knew it would take time to understand, but she felt a quiet determination. She had struggled her whole life, and now an opportunity like this had fallen into her hands. She could not waste it. Later, while preparing dinner, Maya found a small key in one of the drawers she had cleaned. It was old but perfectly preserved. She felt a sudden connection and realized it might be the key to the metal box in the secret room. Her heart raced as she imagined opening it. However, she decided to wait until morning, wanting to do it carefully and calmly. Lila's curiosity made her giggle as she peeked at the key and whispered, "I hope it's something magical, Mom." Maya laughed, feeling a warmth in her chest. Layla's imagination reminded her that even in a world full of struggles, wonder could still exist. That night, Maya stayed awake for a while, planning the next steps. She mapped the rooms she had explored and wrote notes about the secret room. She wanted to make sure she didn't miss anything. Every item in the mansion could be a clue, and she was determined to uncover them all. The diary had hinted that Vivian's treasures were carefully hidden, and Maya realized she would need patience and clever thinking to discover them fully. Maya also reflected on her life outside the mansion. For years, she had struggled to make ends meet, often feeling invisible in the world. Now she had a chance to start anew. The mansion was more than a house. It was a symbol of possibility. If she could uncover Vivian's treasures and restore the home, she could provide a better life for Lila. She thought about the smiles, the laughter, and the hope that could fill this house. For the first time in a long time, Maya allowed herself to dream without fear. The next morning, Maya and Lila returned to the secret room. Maya held the small key tightly and knelt beside the metal box. The lock clicked open smoothly, revealing stacks of old documents, letters, and envelopes filled with coins. There were also some jewelry pieces wrapped in soft cloth. Maya's eyes widened. It was clearly valuable, but she could sense there was something even bigger hidden somewhere else. Vivian's note had mentioned more than gold, and Maya was sure this was only the beginning. Lila helped organize the items, carefully placing each piece back on the shelves in neat rows. The small room now felt like a secret treasure chamber, a hidden gem within the mansion. Maya smiled, feeling proud and determined. This discovery was the first step in a journey that would change their lives. The mansion held many mysteries, and Maya was ready to uncover them one by one. As they left the room, Maya glanced around the mansion, noticing details she had missed before. Hidden compartments, unusual carvings, and faint marks on the floors suggested there was more to find. She realized that Vivian had designed the house to challenge whoever inherited it, testing patience, curiosity, and determination. Maya felt a sense of purpose she had never known. She would find every secret Vivian had hidden, not just for the treasure, but for the story of a family and a home waiting to be loved again. The following morning, Maya woke to the soft sound of birds singing outside the mansion. Lila was already awake, bouncing on her bed, full of energy and excitement. Maya smiled at her daughter, feeling a quiet happiness she had not felt in years. The previous day had been magical. They had discovered the secret room and opened the first treasure box. Yet, Vivian's words, "more than gold," still echoed in Maya's mind. She knew this was only the beginning of the mansion's secrets. After breakfast, Maya decided to explore the upper floors. The mansion had a third floor she had not yet visited. Dusty staircases creaked under her steps as she led Lila up, holding her daughter's hand tightly. The corridors were long and lined with old paintings and framed photographs. Some of the portraits depicted people Maya did not recognize, but each seemed to tell a story. She felt a strange sense of connection to them, as if the house itself was guiding her to discover its history. One room in particular caught Maya's attention. It was at the end of a narrow hallway, and the door was partially hidden behind a thick velvet curtain. She drew the curtain aside and pushed the door open. The room was dark, but sunlight streamed through a tall window, illuminating a dusty piano in the corner. Sheet music lay scattered across the floor. Maya gently brushed off a layer of dust and pressed a key. A soft note filled the room. She smiled. Music had always brought comfort to her heart, and she felt a wave of calm as Lila clapped in delight. While exploring, Maya noticed small details that seemed unusual. A bookshelf leaned slightly away from the wall, a carpet had a strange pattern, and some paintings appeared to be slightly raised. She remembered Vivian's diary and the hints about hidden compartments. Maya realized that the mansion was designed as a puzzle, and every room might hold a clue to the secret treasure. The thought made her pulse quicken with anticipation. She was ready to uncover whatever secrets lay hidden. As Maya examined the room, Lila found a small envelope tucked beneath the piano bench. She handed it to her mother, her eyes wide with curiosity. Maya opened the envelope carefully and discovered a note written in Vivian's handwriting. "The heart of the house beats where shadows meet. Follow the patterns, and the path will reveal itself." Maya read the words aloud. The message was cryptic, but she felt a spark of excitement. Shadows, patterns, paths. These were hints leading to something bigger than the treasure they had already found. Maya spent the morning studying the floors, walls, and ceiling of the mansion. She noticed faint lines etched into the wood in certain rooms, forming patterns that were almost invisible. The carpet in the hallway had a design that seemed to match some of the lines on the floor. She realized Vivian had left a map of sorts, hidden in plain sight. Her heart raced as she traced the patterns with her fingers. Every detail seemed carefully placed, guiding the way to a secret she had yet to discover. While examining the patterns, Maya found a small, circular mark on the floor near the fireplace. She pressed it, and to her surprise, the hearth shifted slightly, revealing a narrow staircase leading downwards. Maya looked at Lila. "I think we've found the next clue," she said softly. Lila's eyes widened. They both took a deep breath and descended the stairs, the air growing cooler with every step. The staircase seemed to lead beneath the mansion to a part that had long been forgotten. At the bottom of the stairs, they found a hidden corridor. It was narrow and dimly lit, with stone walls and a low ceiling. Maya's heart pounded with anticipation. She could feel the energy of the house guiding her forward. Every step echoed in the corridor, and she wondered how many people had walked this path before. The walls were lined with old photographs and letters, some dating back decades. Maya realized that Vivian had carefully preserved her family history here, intertwining memories with the secret she wanted to hide. At the end of the corridor, they discovered a large ornate door. It was made of heavy oak and reinforced with iron bands. Maya ran her hands over the surface, feeling the intricate carvings. A large keyhole glinted in the candlelight. She remembered the key she had found in the kitchen drawer and pulled it from her pocket. The key fit perfectly, and with a deep breath she turned it. The lock clicked open and the door slowly swung inward. Inside, the room was unlike anything Maya had seen before. It was a large, elegant chamber filled with treasures from different eras. Gold coins shimmered in the light. Stacks of valuable documents were carefully preserved and antique jewelry sparkled from velvet cushions. Maya's eyes widened in disbelief. This was more than she had ever imagined. Lila clapped her hands in wonder. "Wow, Mom, it's beautiful," she exclaimed. But the most striking feature of the room was a large chest in the center. It was intricately carved, with symbols that matched the patterns Maya had seen throughout the mansion. She approached it cautiously, her hands trembling. The chest seemed to radiate importance as if it held the most valuable secret of all. Maya knelt and examined the lock. It was ornate and complex, but she noticed a small keyhole that matched a second key she had found hidden in the piano room. Her heart raced as she inserted the key and turned it slowly. The chest opened smoothly, revealing stacks of gold bars, bundles of old currency, and documents detailing valuable land and property holdings. Maya gasped. The treasure Vivian had hidden was worth over $1 million. She could hardly believe her eyes. Lila peeked inside, her mouth open in amazement. Maya felt a wave of gratitude and disbelief. Vivian had trusted her to find this treasure, and now it was in her hands. The possibilities seemed endless. Maya spent hours examining the contents of the chest. Some documents detailed properties and investments that could change their lives forever. Gold coins and bars were carefully arranged, each with historical significance. There were even letters from prominent people, thanking Vivian for her contributions. Maya realized that this was not just wealth. It was a carefully preserved legacy, meant to provide security and opportunity for whoever discovered it. As the day turned to evening, Maya sat with Lila in the treasure room, holding the gold and reading the letters. She felt a sense of accomplishment and wonder. The mansion had given them more than a home. It had given them hope, security, and a connection to a family history that spanned generations. She knew that restoring the mansion and preserving the treasures would take effort, but she also knew they were capable of it. Maya's thoughts turned to the future. She could invest the treasure wisely, restore the mansion to its former glory, and provide Lila with opportunities she had never imagined. She felt a sense of pride in herself, knowing that her hard work and determination had prepared her to handle such responsibility. Vivian's hidden treasure was more than gold. It was a gift of possibility, and Maya was ready to embrace it fully. Before leaving the room, Maya placed the documents and treasures back carefully. She wanted to ensure everything remained safe and preserved. She also took notes, documenting their findings and planning the next steps. The mansion was filled with secrets, and she knew that uncovering each one would be part of a larger journey. Lila yawned and leaned against her mother. Maya smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. As they climbed back up to the main floors, Maya felt a renewed energy and determination. The mansion was no longer just an empty building. It was a place of discovery, hope, and opportunity. Every room, every hidden corner, and every clue brought them closer to understanding the life Vivian had built and the legacy she had left behind. Maya knew that this was only the beginning, and that the mansion held even more mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The next morning, Maya woke to the soft sunlight streaming through the tall windows of the mansion. The treasure they had found the previous day still filled her mind. She could hardly believe that her life was changing so dramatically. For years she had struggled to make ends meet, but now with Vivian's hidden fortune she could imagine a future full of possibilities. She looked at Lila, who was excitedly planning which rooms to explore next. Maya smiled, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Maya decided it was time to begin restoring the mansion. The house was beautiful but worn with age. Dust covered every surface, and some rooms had small leaks and cracks. She wanted to make the mansion a safe and comfortable home for both herself and Lila. She started with the rooms they would use immediately, like the bedrooms and kitchen. Each task she completed made her feel more in control and more connected to the house. While cleaning, Maya noticed small treasures hidden in unexpected places. An old jewelry box under a bed contained delicate pieces, and a drawer in the study held letters from Vivian describing her travels and experiences. Maya felt closer to her great-aunt with each discovery. Lila, meanwhile, found old toys and books which brought laughter and excitement into the quiet mansion. Maya realized that restoring the mansion was not just about cleaning and fixing it. It was about bringing life back to a place full of history and memories. Maya knew that the restoration would take time, so she began planning carefully. She made a list of rooms to fix, repairs to make, and items to preserve. She decided to hire a few local workers to help with the heavy tasks, such as fixing broken windows, repairing floors, and restoring the gardens. The mansion was large, and she realized that teamwork would be necessary to complete the restoration efficiently. Before the workers arrived, Maya explored the mansion further. She wanted to understand every hidden corner and secret passage. She found a small study tucked away behind the main staircase. It was filled with maps, documents, and notes from Vivian. The diary had mentioned hidden treasures, and Maya thought that some of these documents might provide more clues. She carefully organized them, making notes about rooms and areas that might contain additional secrets. As the weeks passed, Maya and the workers began restoring the mansion. Broken windows were replaced, floors were polished, and leaky roofs were repaired. The gardens, once overgrown and wild, were trimmed and tended with care. Flowers were planted along the walkways and the lawns were mowed. Lila loved helping with the gardening, carrying small tools and watering cans. The mansion slowly transformed from a forgotten, dusty house into a warm, inviting home. During the restoration, Maya discovered more hints of hidden secrets. One morning, while fixing a broken panel in the library, she noticed a loose brick behind the bookshelf. She pressed it and a small compartment opened, revealing a stack of letters tied with a ribbon. The letters were from Vivian to unknown friends, describing mysterious adventures and lessons about life, patience, and trust. Maya felt inspired as she read them. Vivian's wisdom seemed to guide her even now, helping her understand the value of perseverance and careful observation. While organizing the letters, Maya noticed a key hidden inside one of the envelopes. It was small and delicate, unlike the others she had found. She wondered what it might open. Perhaps it was connected to another secret room. The mansion seemed endless in its mysteries, and every new clue made her more determined to explore carefully. She realized that Vivian had designed the house to test her curiosity, patience, and dedication. Maya welcomed the challenge, knowing it would make the discovery of the final treasure even more meaningful. As the mansion took shape, the rooms began to feel like home. Maya decorated them with furniture she had found, placing old paintings and portraits carefully on the walls. She made a cozy bedroom for Lila, with soft blankets, pillows, and toys arranged neatly. The kitchen was functional and welcoming, perfect for preparing meals together. The living areas were bright and comfortable, with sunlight streaming through the tall windows. Maya felt proud of their progress, knowing that the house would soon be a safe and beautiful home for both of them. One evening, while exploring the third floor, Maya noticed an unusual pattern on the floorboards in a hallway they had not paid much attention to before. The wood was worn, but there were faint symbols etched into it. She knelt down and traced the lines with her fingers. The pattern seemed to form a path leading to a wall at the end of the corridor. Maya felt a thrill of excitement. Could this be another secret room? She remembered Vivian's words about treasures being more than gold, and felt certain that this pattern was a clue. Maya carefully pushed on the wall at the end of the corridor. To her surprise, it shifted slightly, revealing a narrow staircase leading downward. She took a deep breath and called Lila over. Together they descended the stairs slowly, their candle casting shadows on the stone walls. The air was cool and slightly damp, but not unpleasant. Maya could sense that they were getting closer to something extraordinary. Every step made her heart race with anticipation. At the bottom of the stairs, they found another hidden chamber. This room was different from the first secret room. It was larger and more ornate, with stone walls carved with symbols and patterns. In the center of the room stood a chest similar to the one they had discovered before. Maya examined the lock carefully. It was sturdy but had a keyhole that matched the small, delicate key she had found in the letters. Her hands trembled as she inserted the key and turned it. The lock clicked open smoothly. Inside, they found a collection of rare artifacts, gold coins, and documents detailing valuable properties and historical items. Some items were antique, others were carefully preserved papers with signatures and endorsements. Maya could hardly believe the magnitude of what they had uncovered. The mansion's secrets were far more extensive than she had imagined. Lila's eyes shone with wonder and she whispered, "Mom, this is amazing." Maya smiled, feeling a mix of pride, gratitude, and excitement. Over the next few weeks, Maya continued restoring the mansion and uncovering hidden treasures. Each discovery brought new clues about Vivian's life and the history of the house. Maya felt connected to her great-aunt in a way she had never experienced before. The mansion was no longer just a building. It was a living story, full of mysteries, lessons, and treasures waiting to be revealed. Maya realized that the mansion was more than just a gift of wealth. It was a gift of opportunity, of hope, and of connection to a family legacy. The treasures provided financial security, but the lessons Vivian had left behind taught patience, careful observation, and the value of curiosity. Maya knew that she would continue uncovering secrets and restoring the mansion for many months, but she welcomed the challenge. One evening, after a long day of work, Maya and Lila sat in the restored living room. The sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the furniture and decorations. Maya looked around the room and felt a deep sense of accomplishment. They had transformed the mansion from a forgotten house into a home full of life, laughter, and hope. Lila leaned against her mother, tired but happy. Maya smiled and whispered a quiet promise to herself. She would uncover every secret Vivian had hidden and honor the legacy of the house. Maya also reflected on how much her life had changed. She no longer worried about making ends meet or struggling to provide for Lila. The mansion and the hidden treasures offered security, but more importantly, they offered a sense of purpose and belonging. Maya felt confident in her ability to manage the wealth and preserve the house for future generations. She realized that the mansion was not only a home, but a symbol of the possibilities that awaited those who dared to explore, observe, and believe. As night fell, Maya carefully locked the doors to the secret chambers and noted their locations in her journal. She wanted to ensure the treasures remained safe while they continued restoring the mansion. Lila drifted to sleep in her cozy bedroom, dreaming of adventures and discoveries. Maya stayed awake a little longer, reflecting on the journey so far. The mansion had already changed their lives, and she knew it held even more secrets and surprises waiting to be uncovered. Maya felt a sense of excitement for the future. Each day brought new discoveries, new lessons, and new opportunities. The mansion was no longer just a place to live. It was a place of wonder, history, and family. Maya knew that with patience, careful observation, and determination, she could unlock all of Vivian's secrets and create a home full of love and life for herself and Lila. The morning sunlight poured through the tall windows of the mansion, filling every room with a warm golden glow. Maya woke with a sense of anticipation. The mansion had already revealed so many of its secrets, yet she felt in her heart that there was still something extraordinary waiting to be discovered. She glanced at Lila, who was already awake and full of energy. Her daughter's bright eyes reminded Maya why every discovery, every effort, and every moment of patience mattered. Maya decided to explore the hidden chambers one more time. The mansion was no longer unfamiliar to her. She had walked its corridors, studied its patterns, and uncovered many of Vivian's treasures. Yet a part of her told her that the ultimate secret, the one Vivian had described as more than gold, was still out there, waiting to be found. She packed a small bag with candles, notebooks, and some tools she had discovered during the restoration. Lila insisted on coming along, holding her mother's hand tightly. They first visited the hidden chamber beneath the mansion. The room that had revealed gold coins, antique jewelry, and valuable documents seemed familiar, yet Maya's instincts told her to look closer. She studied the walls, floor, and ceiling for any details she might have overlooked. Her eyes landed on a small stone carving near the corner of the room. The carving was almost invisible, worn with age, but it appeared to be a symbol matching patterns she had seen throughout the mansion. Maya knelt and pressed the symbol. To her surprise, the wall shifted slightly, revealing a narrow passageway that led further down into the depths of the mansion. She felt a surge of excitement mixed with nervousness. The passage was narrow, the air cool and slightly damp. Every step echoed softly as they descended, and Maya felt a sense of reverence. This part of the mansion had remained hidden for decades, waiting for the right person to discover it. At the end of the passage, they arrived at an enormous wooden door, reinforced with iron and adorned with intricate carvings. Maya traced the designs with her fingers, recognizing symbols she had seen in Vivian's diary and throughout the house. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the last small key she had discovered in the letters from Vivian. The key fit perfectly into the lock. Her hands trembled slightly as she turned it. With a soft click, the door slowly opened. The room beyond was breathtaking. Sunlight filtered through a small hidden window, illuminating stacks of gold bars, chests filled with coins, and carefully preserved documents. It was larger than the previous hidden chambers and seemed untouched by time. Maya's eyes widened in amazement. This was the treasure Vivian had described, the ultimate secret worth far more than anything they had discovered before. Lila gasped and whispered, "Mom, it's beautiful." Maya smiled, feeling a mix of awe, gratitude, and disbelief. Inside the room, Maya found detailed records of properties, investments, and financial holdings that amounted to over $1 million. There were letters from trusted advisors, legal documents for estates, and even maps showing additional land holdings that could provide long-term security. Maya realized that Vivian had left her not just wealth, but a complete plan for building a secure and stable future. The treasure was more than gold. It was opportunity, knowledge, and guidance carefully hidden for the person who would truly value it. Maya and Lila carefully organized the items in the room. They arranged the documents, stacked the coins neatly, and placed the gold bars securely. Every piece felt important, not just for its monetary value, but for the story it told about Vivian and her life. Maya realized that the mansion, the treasures, and the hidden chambers were all part of a carefully designed legacy. Vivian had wanted to ensure that whoever inherited the mansion would be capable, thoughtful, and patient enough to uncover the truth. As the day progressed, Maya began thinking about what this treasure could mean for their lives. The financial security would allow her to invest in restoring the mansion completely, provide a better education and opportunities for Lila, and live comfortably without worry. But more than that, Maya felt inspired to honor Vivian's legacy. She wanted to preserve the mansion, document the discoveries, and perhaps even share the story of the hidden treasures with others who valued history, family, and curiosity. Maya spent hours exploring the final chamber, examining every detail. She noticed small compartments within the walls, each containing letters and notes from Vivian. Some letters contained advice about life, kindness, and patience. Others described historical events, family stories, and the importance of preserving knowledge. Maya felt deeply connected to her great-aunt, as if Vivian had left these treasures not only for wealth but for guidance and wisdom. The discovery felt personal, as if Vivian had prepared this journey to teach lessons about life and responsibility. Lila, meanwhile, discovered a small box containing antique toys and trinkets from Vivian's childhood. She held them gently, fascinated by the history they represented. Maya smiled at her daughter, realizing how important it was to share both the tangible and intangible treasures of the mansion. The house was no longer just a building or a place for wealth. It was a home full of memories, history, and lessons to carry forward. By evening, Maya and Lila returned to the main floors of the mansion. The rooms, now restored and filled with sunlight, reflected the transformation that had taken place. Dusty halls had become bright corridors, and worn floors now shone under the afternoon light. The gardens outside were lush and vibrant, a reflection of care and dedication. Maya felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The mansion was no longer a symbol of struggle. It was a symbol of hope, opportunity, and new beginnings. Maya also thought about the community around the mansion. She realized that she could use some of the treasure to help local workers, hire skilled craftsmen, and support projects that preserved the history of the town. Vivian's legacy was not only for her family, but could also inspire and benefit others. Maya felt proud of the responsibility entrusted to her. The mansion was no longer just hers. It was a gift to be shared thoughtfully and carefully. As night fell, Maya sat with Lila by the fireplace in the restored living room. The mansion was quiet, but it felt alive with memories and secrets. Maya reflected on the journey they had taken, From a small apartment filled with struggles to this grand house filled with treasures, history, and hope. She realized that the true value of the mansion was not only in the gold or coins, but in the journey of discovery, the lessons learned, and the connection to family that had been missing from her life for so long. Maya whispered a quiet promise to herself and to Lila. She would preserve Vivian's legacy, protect the treasures, and make the mansion a home where love, knowledge, and history could thrive. She knew the journey was not over. There might still be small secrets hidden in the house, but she felt confident that they could face any challenge together. Lila leaned against her, tired but happy, and Maya felt a wave of gratitude. The mansion, once a forgotten and silent building, had become a place of life, laughter, and discovery. Every hidden room, every secret passage, and every treasure had brought Maya and Lila closer, teaching them the value of patience, careful observation, and trust. Maya knew that their lives had changed forever, and that the mansion, with all its mysteries and beauty, would continue to inspire them for years to come. In the days that followed, Maya began to plan for the future. She would invest the treasure wisely, continue restoring the mansion, and create a home where Lila could grow up surrounded by opportunity and inspiration. She also began documenting every secret, note, and discovery, ensuring that Vivian's legacy would be preserved for generations. Maya felt a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. The mansion was no longer just a house or a hidden treasure. It was a home, a story, and a promise for the future. Maya realized that this journey had taught her more than she could have imagined. She had learned to be patient, to observe carefully, and to embrace challenges with determination. She had discovered the power of curiosity and the importance of family history. Most importantly, she had learned that even in a life filled with struggle, unexpected opportunities could appear, bringing hope, change, and joy. As the sun set behind the mansion, Maya stood in the gardens with Lila. The flowers glowed in the evening light. The restored fountain sparkled, and the house behind them radiated warmth and elegance. Maya held her daughter's hand and smiled. The mansion, once a forgotten home, had become a place of magic, discovery, and love. With the secrets unveiled, the treasures preserved, and the lessons learned, Maya knew that this was only the beginning of their new life. A life filled with hope, opportunity, and happiness. The mansion had finally revealed its ultimate secret. Maya had uncovered Vivian's greatest treasure, a life-changing legacy of wealth, knowledge, and love. She had faced the challenges, discovered the mysteries, and embraced the journey. Now she could build a bright future for herself and Lila, honoring the past while creating a home full of promise for the years to come.